Okay, so we have two different ways to write this same operation. We have radical form and exponential form. Yes? I don't know. I'll check into that in a second. Okay. So here's the square root of 25. Can be written as 1 over 25 to the 1/2 power. Okay. The top number is our exponent. So if we see here, 25 doesn't have an exponent, so it's just to the first power. So that's where the exponent of 1 comes. The 2 is the root. This is what we call a square root. When it has nothing here in the little hook of the radical sign, that is a square root. So that's why it's 25 to the 1/2 power. The next one is the cubed root. It tells you exactly that it's the cubed root with the little 3 in the little hook. Okay? So we can also write that as 1 over 3. Okay? The cubed root is similar to the square root, only you need 3. You want your number to be multiplied 3 times to get that number. So a number times itself 3 times. So what times itself 3 times is going to be 27? 3, right? 3 times 3. Okay, we do 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Oh my goodness. 3 times 3 is 9, then times 3 is going to give me my 27. No, my pen's not working. Okay, so then the 16, this 4th root, this is the 4th root of 16. So I need 4 of a kind. Okay. What times itself 4 times is going to give me 16? 2, right? Okay, so 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 4 is the 16. So again, we can also write it as a fraction. 16 to the 1/4 power. So we have radical form and exponential form. It means the exact same thing. Any questions over that? Okay, so I want you guys to try this one. See if we've got the understanding here. Change the cubed root of x squared into a fractional exponent. Okay, anyone think they got the answer? X to the what power? Jazz, what's the exponent here? Okay, so we want the exponent on top. So if we look up over here, what number is the exponent? 2, so the 2 goes on top. Okay, and then what number is the root? 3, so 3 goes on the bottom. So it's just x to the 2 over 3 power. Any questions over that? Okay, so to help us remember how to write a convert from between radical form and exponential form. We're gonna draw a picture and bring in some cross-curricular activity here. We're gonna do some art right now. So we're all gonna draw a tree. A tree. I don't care what kind of tree you draw, just draw a tree right here. Okay, everyone draw. I'm drawing my tree. Now this is my 4th time drawing this tree, so I am pretty good at drawing trees. It's okay if you're not as good at drawing trees. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna put some grass. Some really good grass. Yes, I'd like to put the ground at least. Maybe yours is in a desert. You can put just dirt. Okay, mine's gonna be an apple tree. So I'm gonna put some ripe apples in it. Okay. Okay, so now we need to bring some life science into the math. Okay, life science. What do plants need to live? Water, sunlight,
Carbon dioxide.
not oxygen, carbon dioxide, right? Carbon dioxide. Okay. They need what? Not flash floods necessarily. They need, what else they need? I have sunlight, water, carbon dioxide, nutrients, and how are they gonna get the water and the nutrients? Roots, I need some roots. So we're gonna draw some roots, and where do our roots go? At the bottom. See how I did that, you guys? Have you seen the connection now? Okay, so I draw my roots underneath my tree. To remember, the roots are on the bottom. Okay, just like when I rewrite in exponential form, the root is in the denominator, it's on the bottom. Okay? Okay, so now we're gonna go and do some practice problems, see how we're doing. Yes? Can you wait till we're done with the notes? Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have x to the 2 over 7. Now, x is the only thing with the fractional exponent here. The 3 does not have anything to do with the fractional exponent. The 3 has a power of 1. Its exponent is 1. So we're going to leave the 3 out here. We have the radical. We're putting x inside the radical. And we need to remember what our roots are and our exponents. Mono, what is the exponent here? 2. This is my exponent. So the 2 is the exponent here. Okay. Sophia, what is the root then? 7. So the root goes here in that little hook. And that's all I have to do, 3 to the 7th root of x squared. 3 times the 7th root of x squared. Any questions over that? Okay, before we can continue and convert this next one, we need to deal with the negative exponent. Okay, and what do we know about negative exponents? Yep. We have to flip it. Okay, so this now becomes 1 over y to the 7/6 power. Negative exponents mean flip the base. Take the reciprocal of the base. Okay, now we can put it in our radical. Oopsie. Michael, what is the exponent? 7 is my exponent. So my 7 is going to go in here, and I put 7 here. It's to the 7th power. Okay. Class, and what's the root? Very good. The root is on the bottom. Any questions over that? We're doing okay? Okay. Next one. Now let's compare C and A. In C, this whole thing needs to go inside because I'm in the parentheses. Here, there were no parentheses. That's why the 3 had to move out to the outside because it didn't get the fractional exponent. Does that make sense? So if you're in parentheses, that means the whole thing needs to go inside my radical. The 2x squared. Any questions over that? Okay, the 1 is my exponent. And I can put this to the power of 1, but it's not necessary. Okay, so if you don't put it to the power of 1, you're fine. Does that make sense? Okay, what is the root though? Yes, the root is 3. So we want to still make that root 3 there. Any questions over that? We're good. Okay, next one. Now I'm giving it to you in radical form. I want you to write it in exponential form. So we're going to have C. We're going to have a fractional exponent. Eric, where's Eric at? Eric, what is the exponent here? 3. 3 is the exponent. So the exponent goes on top. Okay, so then Eric, what would the root be? 4. So C to the 3/4 power is how you would rewrite that. Any questions over that? Okay, try E in your pairs. Okay, Bryant. Where's Brian at? Okay, what do you think it is? Okay, so B to the what power? Okay, it has an exponent of 5, right? So the 5 goes on top. Then what? 3 goes on the bottom. Right? That's all it is. Exponent on top, roots on the bottom. So it's b to the 5 over 3. Any questions over that? We're good? Okay, next one. Since the whole thing is inside the radical, you need parentheses. Okay. If you have more than one term, so notice here in E, I only had a b inside the radical. There's no number with it. Here I have the number. There's a coefficient. So that's why you need the parentheses. Okay, then we need to know the exponent. Okay, what exponent is on the whole thing? The 3, that's the root is 2. The 3 has an exponent of 3, but what does the whole thing have an exponent of? 1. So the 1 is the exponent. And then what's the root? If there's nothing there, what is it? 2. It's a square root, right? Remember, this is a square root. Okay? It's not written in. We're assuming that you know the radical means square root unless otherwise told. Any questions over that? You could also write it as this. You could distribute out that 1/2 and have 5 to the 1/2 power, x to the 3 over 2 power. Either way will be the correct answer, okay? Any questions over that? We're good? Okay. Let's do this problem. Okay, we're gonna do the same rules we did before, exponent properties here. When I have a power of a power, what do I do with my exponents? Power of power is adding. Power of power is multiplying. Look at it, looks like those first problems, right? These very first problems with 2 exponents, and I multiplied them, right? Same thing here. So I'm going to multiply these. I'm going to get x to 2 over 3 times -6. I'm going to put it over 1. When we're multiplying fractions, you just multiply straight across. So 2 times -6 is -12. And then 3 times 1 is 3. What's -12 divided by 3? 4. So we have x to the -4. Okay, and then x to the -4 is, got to move, right? It has a negative exponent, so it has to move to the bottom. So it's going to be 1 over x to the 4th. Negative exponents flip. Any questions over that? Okay, this one. Okay, it's still a power, so we're multiplying them, but make sure you take the 1/3 to both things. So it's -27 to the 1/3, and then y to the 9 times 1/3. Okay, we want to convert this to a radical. I want to change this to the cubed root of -27. what does negative 27, or what number times itself will give me negative 27? Negative 3. 3 times 3 times 3 gives me 27, but I want a negative 27, so it's negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. We'll make it a negative 27. And then what's 1/3 of 9? 3. Okay, so it's negative 3y to the third. Any questions over that? Next problem. Okay, now they're having us multiply a radical. It's a expression in radical form times an expression that's in exponential form. Okay, it's very hard to multiply when they're in two different forms, so you need to rewrite this in exponential form. So we want to rewrite this as x. Very good, 3 over 2. This is my exponent. This is my root. Since there's nothing there, it's 2. Then we're going to multiply it by 2x to the 4th. Okay, what do we do with the exponents when we're multiplying things with exponents? We add them. Okay? So we're going to multiply the 2 times the 1 and get 2. And then we have x to the 3 over 2 plus 4 power. I'm going to take this over here and do that math. So 3 over 2 plus 4 over 1. What's our common denominator? 2. Since 3 over 2 has a common denominator, it already has 2 as the denominator, it doesn't need to be done anything to it. So the 3 is just going to move to the top. The 4 and the 1, I need the denominator to be 2. So I need to multiply the denominator by 2. If I multiply the denominator by 2, I need to multiply the top by 2. Okay, 4 times 2 is going to be 8. Then I simplify that and I get 3 plus 8 is what? So it's going to be 11 over 2. So my answer is going to be 2x to the 11 over 2 power. Any questions over that? Okay, next one. I have to convert again them to radical form. So this is, I have to simplify that 8 though. It's the cubed root of 8. So I need to know what times itself 3 times is going to give me 8. 2. So 2, see if you notice here, I did the prime factorization of 8. 2 times 2 times 2 gives me 8. So the cubed root of 8 is 2. The x still has inside the radical, so it's to the 1 over 3 power. Any questions over that? Now I can just multiply. 2 times 3 is 6. And I want you guys to find out what the exponent on the x is going to be.